Okay, well, it's about time for that. Okay, great. Um, in so one of the things that we've been doing over our time together is developing our sensitivity of awareness, but we're also developing our capacity to stay focused. And bringing those two together often leads a human being, at least this human being, to feeling both relaxed and focused, or relaxed and attentive. And there's a particular practice that I'd like to offer today that some of you, I'm certain, already know, but I want to bring it to us in with the orientation of developing three qualities: relaxed, attentive, and balanced. For me, a single word that encapsulates all three of those is equanimity. Equanimity is something that the Buddha talked about 2,500 years ago as being like a good idea to develop. It includes the sense that Katie and Jules practice when they go into that cold water, of expanding or extending our window of tolerance. Because it's the things that are outside of our window of tolerance that can knock us down hard. If whatever that's agitating or frustrating or irritating is within the window of tolerance, we might not like how we feel, but we are not knocked down. So equanimity doesn't mean that you like what's happening necessarily, but you're not resisting it. You're not pushing it away. You're able to integrate it. So that's equanimity with regards to something that's unpleasant. But there's also a form of equanimity for things that we want that aren't here right now. So for now, I'm going to call that desire. Something that I want, but it's not here right now. We can become overly eager. In a different word to use in this context is greedy, in the sense of my happiness depends on attaining or achieving or consuming or purchasing something else to make me feel good. So equanimity allows for the simple truth that there are desires and there are things out in the world or future events that we want to have happen in a certain way. Yep. The beauty of equanimity is that that desire is contained, it's integrated into the system. So we don't actually act from greed or lust. They may be present, but they don't initiate action, which may be harmful to ourselves and to others. Okay, so I want to step back and remind us what we're doing in today's practice is developing relaxation and focus and balance. So here's the practice. It comes directly from the Hindu tradition of pranayama. Pranayama is one of the ways of talking about practicing with your own energy. So this particular pranayama is a breathwork practice. That's the name is Sammavritti. Sama means more or less, it means equal. or sane. Vritti means flow, or it could also mean wave. So this practice uses our capacity to focus our attention on our breathing and have a very deliberate form of breathing where we inhale for 4 counts. We hold the breath or pause breathing for 4 counts. We exhale for 4 counts. We hold the breath out for 4 counts. And there is a square where each side is the same length. And each breath has one portion of that square. So as we do this, I will lead the first 2 rounds at a counting ratio that happens to work for me. It may not work for you. So once I stop and it becomes your counting, you can change the numbers. You can go to 6 or down to 3. That part's up to you. It might be interesting, though, to keep the number 4 if you can, and just either speed up the counting or slow it down. So part of what's happening here is we're deliberately manipulating our breathing, and we're counting as we do it. That engages at least part of the thinking mind, so that there's always something for your mind to be doing. Counting, knowing where you are in that breath cycle. So this very deliberate, even-paced process, it takes awareness to be able to connect to where you are in that process. It takes a certain amount of focus or concentration to remember what number you're at and remember what portion of the breathing cycle you're at. When there's that kind of focus, when there's that kind of focus for the mind, it tends to help our mind stay on track instead of getting lost in something that's irrelevant, or at least is not actually pertinent to the here and now. So that's the description of the practice. I'd like to see if you have comments or questions. I'm seeing heads shake no, heads shake no. Okay. So the posture you use could be any posture. It includes walking. Like, we're not going to do that today, but I'd like you to consider that some of the practices that we do can be done while you're walking. So sitting, lying down, standing, it's up to you. Your call. I'd like you to use your eyes to look around the space where you are. And that includes behind you. This is a way of helping our nervous systems realize, yeah, okay, this is familiar. And check if this helps your nervous system to downregulate or is a kind of evidence that you're safe here. Okay, so I'd like you to do the same thing with sound. Tune into the sounds around you. Notice if there's the absence of sounds that scare you or agitate you. And in this location, at this time, you're safe. Check if that's true. Okay. Now at the level of your skin, the level of the skin that's touching the air. Tune in there and check if your skin feels safe, if it's okay for you to be here in this location at this time. Yeah. Okay, now same thing, but go inside with your awareness. Interoception, go inside your body and check to see if there are any signals that need your attention. There might be signals of anxiety, or there might be signals of some sort of disappointment or anger. So if there's any kind of sense of like a scrunching or a restriction around your heart and belly or anywhere else, notice that it may be that whatever you're thinking of is not actually present here and now, unless it is. And if it is, then this would be a good time to do something about it. But if you're able to be here, settled and present and open and comfortable, then we can begin the next part of the practice. So just a reminder, it's 4 counts for each portion of the breath cycle. The inhalation, the pause at the top, the exhalation, and the pause at the bottom. I'll give you 2 rounds at my pace, and then you'll follow doing this for a couple minutes or a few minutes at your own pace. So we'll begin by exhaling out as much of the air as we can. Now here we inhale, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 3, 4. Inhale, and you take it from here. Let your awareness be totally absorbed in what you're doing. For another few minutes, let this exercise and the sensations of breathing occupy all of your awareness. If you need a reminder, we're doing a breath pattern. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. Each part is 4 counts. Good, good. We'll go on for 2 more minutes. Okay, good. As we finish, I'd like you to maintain that breathing pattern, but bring attention to wherever you feel pressure in your body, like a lot of pressure, like at your buttocks or at your back. I want you to expand what you're paying attention to. So you're doing the breathing pattern and you're attending to that sensation of pressure. Okay, so continue doing the breathing pattern and now bring attention to hearing so that you're listening at the same time as you're doing the breathing pattern. Here's our last part. Flutter your eyes open while you're sustaining the breathing pattern. And for a cycle or two, use your eyes while you're sustaining that pattern. Letting go of the pattern and reconnecting your full attention to your environment or your location and to your connection with us, your machine. Yeah. Before we do any talking, I'd just like you to do one more check-in. I want you to scan for these three words that may describe an inner state: relaxed, focused, balanced. Or we could also say neutral instead of balanced. Relaxed, focused, neutral, or balanced. Just check. Does it seem like your system is in those modes or something else? Either way would be interesting for me to know as the one who led this practice. So, would somebody please comment on your finding around relaxed, focused, and balanced, or neutral, or equanimity?